Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Braga in Portugal. I'm kind of zoomed in so you can't see it. But we are in Portugal tonight. As you can see, we are in northern Portugal. You can see the border with Spain up here. And the Braga district has a coastline here on the Atlantic Ocean. Now the terrain here is quite beautiful. It's very rugged, pretty mountainous, rocky, lots of big peaks and rivers and valleys as well. But what Braga is most famous for is probably religion, as this is the heart of the religious culture of Portugal. Braga is believed to be most likely the oldest city in Portugal, and it was where Portugal's first cathedral was built. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I should start with the history. Sorry, that was a short geography, but rocks and mountains and rivers, coastline, that's pretty much it. I read a source that said that Braga might have been founded by Carthaginians. Now, I'm not sure how legit that is. Pretty remarkable if so. They came way far up. If you don't know, the Carthaginians were based in what's now Tunisia. But they did sail around quite a bit, so I wouldn't be completely shocked if they made their way up here and founded a settlement. But it sounds pretty like, whoa, hold on, that's amazing. Oh, but you know what I should do first? Before we get into history, I need to do UNESCO sites. I always forget, because it's been a while since we've had UNESCO sites. There are two here in the Braga district. And the first one we're going to look at is right here, and I believe that's pronounced Guimarães. Guimarães. My Portuguese, as you know, is awful, but my Portuguese and Brazilian viewers are very forgiving and very kind. And they're all like, you're doing great. I don't think I'm doing great, but if they say I'm doing great, then I must be doing something right. So first we have the historic center of Guimarães and Couros zone. The historic town of Guimarães is associated with the emergence of the Portuguese national identity in the 12th century. An exceptionally well-preserved and authentic example of the evolution of a medieval settlement into a modern town. Its rich building typology exemplifies the specific development of Portuguese architecture from the 15th to 19th century through the consistent use of traditional building materials and techniques. The property includes two monastic complexes and an industrial area, the Couros zone, which, like the local river, was named after the traditional craft of leather tanning. Evidence of the craft, though no longer practiced, persists in the form of tanneries, workers' houses, and urban spaces from the 19th and early 20th centuries. The property bears witness to 1,000 years of Portuguese urban, architectural, and societal developments. Let's look at the gallery here to see some of the beautiful buildings here in Guimarães. We will look at it on Google Earth. There's a great castle here that we're definitely going to check out on Google Earth. But this whole district just has really beautiful facades to their buildings. It's really quite lovely. All of this like iconic, I want to say like Gothic architecture for religious buildings for churches and monasteries. It's all very quaint and traditional. The second UNESCO site you saw in the intro and is one of the most important religious sites in Portugal. It is the sanctuary of Bom Jesus do Monte in Braga. Located on the slopes of Mount Espinho, overlooking the city of Braga in the north of Portugal, this cultural landscape evokes Christian Jerusalem, recreating a sacred mount crowned with a church. The sanctuary was developed over a period of more than 600 years, primarily in a Baroque style, and illustrates a European tradition of creating sacramonti, or sacred mountains, promoted by the Catholic Church at the Council of Trent in the 16th century, in reaction to the Protestant Reformation. The Bom Jesus ensemble is centered on a Via Crucis that leads up the western slope of the mount. It includes a series of chapels that house sculptures evoking the Passion of Christ, as well as fountains, allegorical sculptures, and formal gardens. The Via Crucis culminates at the church, which was built between 1784 and 1811. The granite buildings have whitewashed plaster facades, framed by exposed stonework. The celebrated Stairway of the Five Senses, with its walls, steps, fountains, statues, and other ornamental elements, is the most emblematic Baroque work within the property. They are framed by lush woodland and embraced by a picturesque park that, masterfully set on the rugged hill, highly contributes to the landscape value of the ensemble. Alright, check this place out. It is so beautiful. This whole staircase is amazing. This was, Braga in particular was a very large pilgrimage site before Santiago de Compostela was a big deal. And this church is a pilgrimage church where these huge stairs, of course we'll look at it on Google Earth, you're supposed to crawl up it on your knees, some 500 something, like 580 steps all the way to the top, to kind of like recreate a fraction of the pain that Jesus Christ went through when he was crucified. So, and it's gorgeous inside. We'll look at it on Google Earth after we talk about the history. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, let's talk about history, because we do know that this town was definitely a Celtic capital known as, and hopefully I'm saying this right, probably not, Bracari. Kalaichi Bracari. It was conquered by the Romans in the year 136 BCE, and in the year 16 BCE, a Roman town was founded here called Bracara Augusta. And over time, it would become the capital of the Roman region known as Galicia. In the 6th century, the Suebes invaded Germanic group, taking advantage of the weakening Western Roman Empire to claim this land as their own, and eventually they would be the first peoples in this area to convert to Christianity, carrying on a long tradition that continues to this day. The Visigoths began slowly invading this district, what's now this district, in the year 450. And by the year 585, they had total control of Braga and the surrounding area here. But not even 200 years later, a new group of invaders would come, known today as the Moors, which were a North African Islamic people that came and invaded huge portions of the Iberian Peninsula here in Portugal and Spain, bringing with them their culture and their religion, Islam. Now, this area was recaptured fairly quickly in the Reconquista, the longest war ever fought between the Spanish and the Portuguese and the Moors. Braga was recaptured very quickly from the Moors in the year 741. And this was a real battleground area. The River Douro here, which we'll talk about in tomorrow's video, was really the barrier between the Moorish land and the Christian land. and many battles occurred here during that time. The Kingdom of Castile and Leon, which is just over here in Spain, wound up liberating the region in the year 1040. And it was not long after that that the cathedral was built here in Braga in the year 1089. Now, this district changed hands quite a few times. It was in control of the Dukes of Burgundy for a hot minute through marriage, but it was pretty much a vassal state of Castile and Leon until the year, I'm checking my notes, I forgot the year, 1128. Now, the Portuguese were very much here, right? They actually ruled from the city of Braga starting in the year 1093. It was the seat of their royal court until 1147. I think it moved to Porto, I want to say, and eventually down to Lisbon. I could be wrong, though. But in 1128, the Portuguese fought against the Castilians at the Battle of Chalmamed. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it was over here near Guimarães, and the Portuguese won out, and eventually basically from that battle they won their independence and became the Portugal that we know and love today. This is really where Portugal just began. Isn't that neat? Now, the only other little history tidbit that I have for you here has to do with the Napoleonic Wars, because the French, Napoleon's army, invaded the Iberian Peninsula quite aggressively in the very early 1800s, capturing a lot of it. And in 1809, they fought the Battle of Braga. The French won that battle. Many Portuguese fled, and many of them fled actually to Brazil, where many people from that time still reside today. Other than that, this district is pretty chill from what I can tell. Like I said, it's a very large religious center, so people come here for religious purposes and holidays. So it's not like anything completely like huge major happens in this district. It's very peaceful, which is nice, isn't it? And that's pretty much all that I have for you today for the history here. Tomorrow we're going to hop just over here to Braganza, where I also have just like the only history that I found that was really like, oh, I gotta tell everyone about this, was in the like early years of Portugal's history, not so much in the modern years. So kind of that's a good thing, because quite a lot happened in Portugal in like the 20th century, 19th century. That was very tumultuous. That doesn't really affect these areas as much, which isn't that nice. So yeah, just cool facts about the early history, which I think is neat. Now, with that being said, why don't we hop over to the tablet and take a look at this beautiful corner of Portugal? Here we are in Braga, Portugal. You can see Porto's just over there, not too far away. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. This is the Iberian Peninsula, which consists of Spain here and Portugal. Technically Gibraltar's down there, and technically Andorra's up there if you count. Andorra's part of the Iberian, I'm not sure. I guess that depends. You can see the ocean over here. Big long Portugal. Can you see the face? I've always seen like, here's the hair, forehead, there's nose, and like a pointy beard. There's a mouth right there. Can you see it? I always thought the Iberian Peninsula looked like someone with like long hair sweeping back, looking out at the ocean. Kind of appropriate for Portugal's history, isn't it? But let's start over here in Braga. Or as they would say, I'm sorry, Braga. Gotta roll that R a little bit. Braga. Wow, it really didn't load, did it? There it goes. It's struggling. We'll start over here in the Palacio, or Casa de Raio. The Palace of Rio's Baroque era residence in the urbanized areas of Braga. The original castle was destroyed, so this is kind of the more modern one, which is all very beautiful. You can see the azulejos, iconic Portuguese blue tiles all throughout. It's neat statues. This is a museum now, of course. Well, that's a lot of portraits. I wonder who all those people are. Some really cool gold items here. Beautiful, like, road here. So this is like a walkway with shops on here, and they have all these beautiful flowers down the middle. Isn't that nice? More gorgeous tiles. This dude had a bad day. That's unfortunate. I wonder which saint this is. I don't know my saints. Any Catholics out there, let me know if this is a saint that got like a scimitar or something to the head. That's unfortunate. Yeah, iconic tiles here. So you can see each little tile is painted just so and then put together on the wall to make one big picture. Isn't that neat? It's usually they're that in pretty blue color. But yeah, like this. It's very iconic blue. If we look over here, we can, is it this one I wanted to show you? No, but I did eventually want to show you this. This big cool fountain is really neat, isn't it? It shoots up all nice. I bet it's nice to sit by here on a summer day having a cold drink, or in the evening when it's nice and cool. Feel a nice breeze come off the fountain as you enjoy some street food or something, or enjoy the lights here. It's a nice little spot. There was a slideshow for like the downtown area over here, and then we'll look at the cathedral, I promise you. Here it is. Centro Historico. So you can see some of these beautiful facades that I was telling you about. That's the palace that we saw before. There's the church that we'll look at soon. It's beautiful gardens. All lit up at night here. But let's see. These little alleyways. Let's see. Yeah, look at all the little balconies and all around the windows. It's so beautiful. There's the big old church. It's very pretty. I love all the stonework there. Oh, and look how bright this is. It's such a distinct little taste there. There's the old church. Fun time. Kind of mixing this tradition with, I guess, modern you'd call it, to make their own style. Alright, let's look at the cathedral, the oldest cathedral in Portugal. It's pretty old, isn't it? And now look at this. This is the organ. Can you see all the pipes there and the horns here? It looks like an organ just like exploded all over the place. It must sound remarkable. I can't imagine how incredible this must sound. Wow. Must be booming. Yeah, it's a very lovely church. Considering how old it is. Like, if I had to guess just looking at the interior, I'd say like 1500s, but it's from the 1000s. The outside looks like it's from the 1000s, but not the inside. The inside's beautiful. I'm sure it's been all updated and stuff, but it's very pretty. But probably not as pretty as, I have to remember where it is, hold on. Bom Jesus do Monte. Let's see, you can see the mountain here if I put it in 3D. You can see right here the stairway going up there, even though it's very pixelated. There we go. The stairway leading up to the church here, going up this big hill. Look at that. Let's look at the stairs first. so like mind-blowingly pretty. The view from the top. And of course the inside's absolutely stunning, as you can imagine. There's some beautiful like little grottos and gardens around it as well, little chapels throughout this mountain peak. All in the same Baroque style. It is lovely. There's lots of like statues, I guess, artwork depicting the Passion, and there's a funicular here, which is water powered to take you up and down the hill if you don't feel like walking up all those stairs. I wouldn't blame you. It's quite a lot of stairs. That would do me in. I'd probably take the funicular. Here, let's look at there's a hotel up there too. Look at that. 4-star hotel. Guess if you go up and you don't want to go back down, if you need a breather, you can just spend the night. Look how pretty. Doesn't it, I don't know why, does it make you think of a cake? Like a huge, like, tiered wedding cake. Does anyone else just get cake vibes from the exterior here? It looks edible. It looks delicious. Looks like it's made out of candy and frosting. But it's so pretty. Oh, there they go. There's this cool little cave nearby, and just all neat little features for you to walk around and enjoy. It's a very neat little complex here. Let's head over to the other UNESCO site. Let me hold on. There it is. Guimarães. Just let me know if I'm butchering that. I guess, yeah, I have to show you the castle. And then we'll look at the historic center. Because this castle looks like if you like asked a child to draw a castle. It is just like if you closed your eyes and I said picture a medieval castle, you would see this castle. The big towers and the parapets up there and the slotted windows for the archers to shoot out. And look at the big dining hall, the tapestries, and the big wooden beams up top and chandeliers. It's just a very iconic castle. It's so cool. We're going to look at another castle tomorrow, also in Portugal, that kind of has the same vibes, but this is just like immaculate. It looks so perfectly medieval. There's a beautiful facade. The bedroom here. It looks like I'm playing Sims Medieval. All of the vases here, so pretty. Look at these tapestries. My gosh. Massive. Having all kinds of battles there. Which, I mean, there were. That's why this was built. It's where Portugal became Portugal. Portugal became independent. Let's look at the historic center to see more beautiful homes here. It's so quaint. It's so cute. The inside of the church there. More azulejos. The castle walls. It's so quaint. Pretty trees. More of the castle museum. Pretty awesome place to see. All kinds of beauty here. Speaking of, we can look at this national park up here and see some natural wonders in this region. What's a district? District. For some reason I just forgot the word district. Look at this. That's remarkable. It's so beautiful. Beautiful waterfalls, beautiful lakes, beautiful churches. They've got the stair thing going on here too. Look how picturesque this is. This looks like a fairy tale. This looks like a mythical kingdom here. Wow. very foreboding place. Is it a monastery? Or I'm not sure, but like how pretty. Oh. Big dam right there. Huge waterfall. It's all very picturesque. Then we can head over to the coast. Should we head over to the coast? Let's check it out. There's some nice beaches around here. I was poking around at some of them. Let me see this. I'm sure I've seen this. Oh, there's an old fort. I should make sure though that I'm still in the district. I'm pretty sure I am. I just want to make 100% sure. Yeah, see, I totally am. Everything's fine. But if I head down here, see there's Porto. Wait, where'd the border go? Oh, I wasn't in it. See, I knew I hadn't seen that fort before. Ignore all that. We'll look at that on another day when we visit Porto. Praia da Apulia. That sounds nice. It's a good name for a beach. There's some old-timey windmills here. Making, I guess, salt. I mean, I'm really excited to go to California next week. When you watch this, I will be in California soaking up the sun, enjoying weather like this. I can't wait. You know I love my beaches. You know I love swimming. Going to Santa Monica. It's going to be great. I'll pretty much be here, but in California, not Portugal, unfortunately. I'd love to visit Portugal. What else can we see over here? Look at these waves. Praia Tanumar. Oh, it's so sandy. Usually the beaches here, and I've been poking around, they're either really, really rocky or really sandy. Look at that sunset. I saw one beach. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find it, because I think we'll skip the beaches after this, because you get it, where I guess there was a church next to the beach and people were getting baptized in the ocean. It's like everywhere you turn, there's something religious in this district, isn't there? But yeah. I can't remember which one. It probably was that one, but let me see. Was it this one? No, but isn't that pretty? Oh, so nice. You get it. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I want to show you. I showed you all the big stuff. I guess we can play around and see some other things. Is this Fafe, I'm guessing? Another little town here. Let me find one more thing to show you. Let's see. What's this? Archaeological site. Perfect. Let's take a look at this while we end the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. And if you liked this video, you absolutely should subscribe, because we're hopping over to another district of Portugal tomorrow, where I'm going to show you another castle, like I said, and I'm going to show you some pictures of a really cool festival that they hold there with neat costumes. You're not going to want to miss it, I promise you. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you're still awake, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. How did I do, Portuguese viewers? Portuguese speaking viewers, with my pronunciation. I really do try with Portuguese because I don't want to mess it up, but I always manage to do it. But how did I do? Let me know. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Good night.